The Spanish royal family is in absolute turmoil right now, and what's happening behind the palace doors will leave you speechless. King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia are facing their worst nightmare as explosive reports about their eldest daughter Princess Leonor continue to rock the very foundations of the Spanish monarchy. This isn't just another royal controversy, folks, this is a full-blown crisis that threatens everything the Spanish royal family has worked to rebuild over the past decade. Princess Leonor of Spain, the heir to the Spanish throne, has become the center of a media firestorm that's putting unprecedented pressure on her parents King Felipe and Queen Letizia. The 18-year-old princess, who was supposed to represent the future of modern Spanish monarchy, has instead become a source of constant headaches and public relations disasters for the royal household. What started as minor issues has snowballed into a series of alarming incidents that have palace officials working overtime to contain the damage. The most shocking revelation came when unauthorized photographs of Princess Leonor in a bikini were leaked to the media during her time in Uruguay while she was supposed to be focused on her naval training aboard the Juan Sebastián de Elcano training ship. These weren't just innocent vacation photos, they were a massive security breach that exposed serious flaws in the royal protection protocols. The images, taken without her knowledge or consent in Montevideo, caused what palace sources describe as considerable media stir and forced the royal house to make what they called a decisive decision about the princess's future public appearances and security arrangements. The leaked bikini photographs represent more than just an invasion of privacy, they highlight a disturbing pattern of security failures that has left Princess Leonor vulnerable to exploitation and harassment. Sources close to the royal family reveal that the pressure on Princess Leonor's bodyguards has been increasing dramatically since she began her naval training, and the recent security breaches have exposed just how inadequate their current protection measures really are. Palace insiders admit that the situation has become so serious that it required immediate intervention from the highest levels of the royal household. But the bikini photo scandal is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the mounting problems surrounding Princess Leonor. During Spain's National Day reception last October, the princess faced an incredibly awkward and humiliating experience when several dignitaries appeared to completely ignore her attempts at conversation and diplomatic engagement. Video footage from the event shows Princess Leonor being essentially blanked by multiple guests while her parents King Felipe and Queen Letizia watched helplessly from the sidelines, unable to intervene without causing an even bigger diplomatic incident. This public snubbing of the heir to the Spanish throne sent shockwaves through royal circles and raised serious questions about Princess Leonor's readiness for her future role as queen. Royal commentators noted that such treatment of a crown princess is virtually unheard of in modern royal protocol and suggests either a complete lack of respect for the Spanish monarchy or serious concerns about Princess Leonor's ability to command the attention and respect necessary for effective royal duties. The situation became even more complicated when rumors began circulating about Princess Leonor's alleged romantic interest in Barcelona football star Gavi, the 20-year-old midfielder whose rising fame has made him one of Spain's most recognizable sports figures. Multiple reports surfaced claiming that the princess had developed feelings for the young footballer, but that he had reportedly rejected her advances, creating an embarrassing situation for the royal family and potentially damaging Princess Leonor's public image as a serious future monarch. These romantic rumors, combined with the security breaches and diplomatic snubs, have created a perfect storm of negative publicity that King Felipe and Queen Letizia are struggling to manage. Palace sources reveal that the royal couple has been forced to completely reevaluate their daughter's public role and make significant changes to her schedule and security arrangements in response to what they describe as unprecedented challenges to her safety and dignity. The pressure on the Spanish royal family has intensified dramatically over the past year, with Queen Letizia herself facing renewed scrutiny over past scandals, including allegations about her personal relationships before her marriage to King Felipe. A difficult year for the royal couple has coincided with Princess Leonor coming of age and taking on more public responsibilities, but instead of marking a triumphant transition to the next generation, the period has been marred by controversy and crisis management. Royal experts point out that Princess Leonor's struggles represent a broader challenge facing modern monarchies in the digital age, where privacy is increasingly difficult to maintain and where young royals face unprecedented levels of scrutiny and pressure from both traditional media and social media platforms. The princess, who was supposed to represent a fresh modern face for the Spanish monarchy, has instead become a symbol of the institution's vulnerability in an age of constant surveillance and instant global communication. The naval training aboard the Juan Sebastián de Elcano, which was supposed to be a prestigious milestone in Princess Leonor's preparation for her future role as queen, has been overshadowed by security concerns and privacy violations. What should have been a proud moment demonstrating the princess's commitment to serving her country has instead become a source of constant anxiety for palace officials who are struggling to balance the need for normal military training with the extraordinary security requirements of protecting a future monarch. The leaked photographs and security breaches during her naval service have forced the royal house to confront uncomfortable questions about whether Princess Leonor can safely participate in the same training programs as other young military officers, or whether her status as heir to the throne makes such normal experiences impossible. This dilemma strikes at the heart of modern royal identity: the tension between wanting to appear relatable and accessible while maintaining the security and dignity necessary for effective monarchy. Palace insiders reveal that King Felipe and Queen Letizia have been working frantically behind the scenes to address these mounting challenges while trying to protect their daughter from further embarrassment and potential danger. The royal couple, who have worked hard to restore public confidence in the Spanish monarchy after previous scandals, now find themselves dealing with an entirely new set of problems centered around their eldest daughter's transition to adult royal responsibilities. The situation has been made worse by what palace sources describe as a coordinated campaign of harassment and intrusion targeting Princess Leonor specifically because of her status as heir to the throne. Unlike her younger sister Infanta Sofia, who has been able to maintain a relatively low profile while completing her education in Wales, Princess Leonor's position as Crown Princess makes her a constant target for photographers, paparazzi, and social media speculation. Recent decisions by the royal house, including the confirmation that Infanta Sofia will not undergo military training like her sister, highlight the difficult balance the family must strike between preparing their daughters for their different roles while protecting them from unnecessary exposure and risk. The contrast between the two sisters' paths also underscores the unique pressures facing Princess Leonor as the heir, who must navigate public duties that her younger sister can avoid. The mounting pressures have led to what sources describe as firm decisions by the royal family regarding Princess Leonor's future public appearances and the level of security and privacy protection she will receive. These decisions represent a significant shift in how the Spanish royal house approaches the balance between public engagement and personal protection for the young princess, who must somehow prepare for her future role as queen while dealing with unprecedented levels of scrutiny and interference. Royal commentators note that the challenges facing Princess Leonor reflect broader questions about the sustainability of hereditary monarchy in the 21st century, where young royals face pressures and expectations that would be difficult for any teenager to handle. The princess, who celebrated her 18th birthday amid great fanfare and optimism about the future of the Spanish monarchy, now finds herself at the center of debates about privacy, security, and the personal costs of royal duty. The leaked bikini photographs, security breaches, diplomatic snubs, and romantic rumors have combined to create what many observers describe as a crisis of confidence in Princess Leonor's readiness for her future role as queen. Palace officials are working desperately to rebuild the princess's public image while addressing the serious security and privacy concerns that have emerged over the past year. The situation has been particularly difficult for Queen Letizia, who, as a former journalist, understands better than most how quickly media narratives can spiral out of control and damage reputations permanently. The queen, who faced her own media scrutiny during her courtship with King Felipe, now watches helplessly as her daughter endures similar pressures at a much younger age and in a much more intense media environment. King Felipe, meanwhile, has been forced to confront the reality that his careful efforts to modernize and strengthen the Spanish monarchy may be undermined by circumstances largely beyond his control. The king, who successfully navigated the transition from his father's scandal-plagued reign, now faces the challenge of protecting his own daughter while maintaining public confidence in the institution she will one day lead. The naval training completion ceremony, where Princess Leonor received the Grand Cross of Naval Merit from her father, was meant to be a triumphant moment showcasing her dedication and capability, but even this achievement was overshadowed by ongoing concerns about her security and the appropriateness of her continuing with standard military protocols given the unique risks she faces as heir to the throne. Recent appearances, including her support for Team Spain at the Women's Euro final alongside her sister, have been carefully managed events designed to present a positive image of the young princess, but palace sources admit that every public appearance now requires extensive security planning and risk assessment that goes far beyond what would normally be expected for a member of the royal family. The pressure on Princess Leonor has become so intense that royal experts are beginning to question whether the current approach to preparing her for her future role as queen is sustainable or whether fundamental changes will be needed to protect both her well-being and the reputation of the Spanish monarchy. The princess, who should be enjoying her transition to adulthood and higher education, is instead dealing with security threats, privacy violations, and public scrutiny that would challenge anyone regardless of their royal status. The mounting challenges facing Princess Leonor have also raised questions about the broader Spanish royal family's ability to adapt to changing media landscapes and public expectations while maintaining the dignity and effectiveness necessary for constitutional monarchy. The institution that King Felipe worked so hard to restore after previous scandals now faces new threats centered around the next generation's ability to navigate modern pressures while fulfilling traditional royal duties. Palace officials continue to insist that Princess Leonor remains committed to her role and responsibilities as heir to the Spanish throne, but behind the scenes there are growing concerns about the personal toll these pressures are taking on the young woman who never chose her position but must somehow find a way to succeed in it despite circumstances that would challenge anyone regardless of their preparation or dedication. The ongoing crisis surrounding Princess Leonor represents more than just typical growing pains for a young royal. It highlights fundamental questions about the future of monarchy itself in an age where privacy is increasingly impossible and where the personal costs of public service may be becoming too high for any individual to bear regardless of their birth or destiny. As King Felipe and Queen Letizia continue to navigate these unprecedented challenges, they must somehow find a way to protect their daughter while preparing her for a role that requires public engagement and visibility, the very things that have made her vulnerable to the security breaches, privacy violations, and public scrutiny that have defined her recent experience as heir to the Spanish throne. The question that remains unanswered is whether the Spanish royal family can successfully adapt to these new realities while maintaining the effectiveness and dignity of the monarchy, or whether the pressures facing Princess Leonor represent a fundamental threat to the institution's long-term viability in the modern world. Remember to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest royal revelations. Like this video if you found these shocking details as disturbing as we did, and share your thoughts in the comments below about whether you think Princess Leonor can overcome these challenges and successfully take her place as Spain's future queen, or if these mounting pressures represent the beginning of the end for the Spanish monarchy as we know it. What do you think? Should King Felipe and Queen Letizia take more drastic steps to protect their daughter, even if it means limiting her public role and preparation for becoming queen?